Hello and welcome back to Ada Pulse, the community-funded news channel, keeping you up to date with all the news and emerging projects that are in and around the Cardano ecosystem. And as we're community-funded, remember there is no coin shilling, no paper motion, we don't really discuss token price. We're just here to disseminate information and deliver it to you in a way that's easy for you to understand. Now today we've got a short and sweet article, which is a guide on Cardano wallets. And this is brought to you by one of our new writers, BlockPlained. Now, in this article, we're not really going to go in depth into individual wallets, and we've covered how to manage seed phrases and things like that before. There'll be a link of that above. Today, what we're going to talk about is the different types of wallets, so whether it's hot wallets, cold wallets, paper wallets, hardware wallets. And don't forget to stay till the end, because the CEO of Binance, CZ, gives his tip on how to safely store your crypto whilst keeping it easy to use at the same time. He manages a lot of crypto, so he must know, and it's a new one on me. And so do remember to click the like button, hit subscribe, and hit that bell button so you can get notified as soon as we got content available. And don't forget to share far and wide, because we are an educational platform. We want to reach as many people as possible. But that's enough for that. I'm Josh, stake pool owner of ATM, and your presenter for today. Let's just crack straight on with this. Now, the first thing I want to do is attack a big misunderstanding around what a wallet is and what a wallet does. Now, this is a conversation I have in real life all the time, because a lot of people don't understand this. They think their wallet holds their ADA. It doesn't. Your ADA is essentially a balance that's recorded on the blockchain. Now, what your crypto wallet is, basically at its core, is it just holds your private keys, and they are used to sign transactions. Now, these private keys are generated from your seed phrase. So if you've created a wallet before, it will generate a seed phrase, and this is only given once, and you've got to keep track of that. But other things a wallet does is allows connection and other functionality. Like if you go to the JPEG store or you go to MinSwap, you can connect your wallet through the browser, or dApp in that case. But yeah, so that's just one thing I just wanted to combat before we move on. Hot wallets. Now, before we start with hot wallets, just got to remember security is a very personal thing, and it depends on your individual circumstances. So if you've got 10 ADA in your wallet, that could probably, you don't really need to be too hot on security. The general features that are included everywhere are probably good enough. But if you get to, 1,000, 10,000, then you might want to start being a bit more secure. And as you go beyond that, you want to go further still. Now, I say that because hot wallets are probably the least secure form of wallet. And they're basically defined, a hot wallet is defined as any wallet that's basically connected to the internet at all times. And that can be the custodial wallets, the wallets that, you're keeping self-custody of, or wallets on an exchange. Now, however you feel or easy it is to keep your money on exchange, we've said this a million times before, and I'll never stop saying it. Not your keys, not your coins. The fact I've got a little caption there should say we find that really important. But and you've got to remember, it's even more important now. So if I have to remind you about the FTX collapse, debacle. Browser-based and browser extension wallets. Now, these are probably the most common form of wallets, in the Cardano landscape at least. So based on either your browser, through an extension or a web page, these wallets work through the internet and typically store your keys in some kind of security software. But they're more open to security issues, and they're the ones most likely to be compromised in an attack. If you're using them like that, they are a form of hot wallet, remember. And secondly, there is vast security disparities between the software, so only store your keys in tested and reputable software. Some of the good web-based wallets include Yoroi, which is obviously Emergo's wallet, but then you have Nami, Eternal, love that one, Typhon, and these wallets are great as your sort of spending wallets. If you're going to use them on their own like that, just have a small amount of ADA to use here and there, or store the odd NFT or whatever, but obviously not your main stack. And these are the type of wallets that you'd be connecting to, like, you know, Mint Swap, Sunday Swap, JPEG Store, you know, or any sort of DApp or anything like that. Yeah, these are the ones you actually connect with. But remember, you can still connect a hardware wallet to them, but I'll go on to that in a little bit. Desktop wallets. So these are wallets where your keys are stored in software based on your actual device. So unlike the browser-based wallets, they're stored on third-party servers, you know. So this is actually based on, let's say, on your computer, essentially. So while this type of wallet is much more secure and still being quite convenient, security is placed upon the user and not reliant on third-party systems like with the browser-based wallets. Any malicious software on your device, though, can result in your keys being stolen. I've heard of this, and I remember the second I heard, I went and got a hardware wallet. So like Daedalus is the official Cardano wallet. Now, Daedalus is a full node desktop wallet. Daedalus downloads a full copy of the Cardano blockchain and independently validates every transaction in its history. This provides maximum security and completely trustless operation without centrally hosted third-party servers. Now, Daedalus isn't necessarily recommended for beginners, even though it was the first wallet I ever used. I mean, it is quite complex and it takes up a lot of memory on your computer because, like we said, it's downloading the whole blockchain. It's a full node wallet. There is a passive node running in the background behind that wallet, which in a way is pretty cool, but it's a problem that exists in the whole of the blockchain. This isn't just a Cardano problem. But it is an excellent and reliable wallet to store your stack. Cold wallets. Now, cold wallets are essentially any physical device or object that stores your keys and is not connected to the internet. So it's often referred to as cold storage as well. Now, probably considered the most secure method of holding your keys, as it completely removes the opportunities for malware or software vulnerabilities. As a pool owner, this was something I had to do. I had wallets that were created in the CLI, so there was no seed phrase as such, just a load of private and public keys. Now, what I then had to do was take them offline and keep them on like an external device that isn't connected to the internet. So when I make a transaction, I create it online through the CLI. I then take it, download it, and take it off to insert it into what we call an air gap machine. And then within there, I will sign the transaction and then take it off, put it back on an online device to then upload it back to the servers so that I can then be submitted. So as you can imagine, it's not the most convenient way of, you know, I wouldn't use it. It's not for daily use, if you know what I mean. And I guess there is still the potential of physical damage to the device that is holding my keys. But yeah, that is essentially how that works. Hardware wallets. So there's a few different types out there. You got like the Ledger Nano X or S. There's the Trezor Model T, and basically they just store your keys on a safe chip that's kind of never exposed. There's so little information on there. I mean, I've talked about this in previous videos before. They're really kind of unhackable, really, because they're not smart enough to be hacked. And the good thing about them is you can connect them to either your computer or a mobile device to sign transactions. Now, we were talking about the browser-based wallets earlier and how they're vulnerable to attacks. Hardware wallets work with these. So it works with Yoroi, Daedalus even, which is a desktop one, Eternal, Nami, a Giro wallet, Typhon, NuFi wallet, you know, you name it. Most of them do support it. And you can also stake your ADA safely and still earn, you know, your passive income. But also you're able to do all kinds of other transactions. Highly recommend hardware wallets. So even if there's malware on your computer and you're using a browser-based wallet, even if they've got a keylogger, there's nothing they can do to attack this hardware wallet. That's why I think they're so great. I think everyone with, you know, if you've got more than 1,000 ADA, you should have one. But but I guess I should say this is not financial advice, but this is technological and security advice. So yeah, fuck it. It is advice. Take it. Paper wallet. Now, a paper wallet, as you can imagine, is the most simplest form of wallet. You essentially just write down your private and public keys on a piece of paper. So the security really relies on where you're storing this document. But the document itself, you've got to think about it, it's pretty secure because it's never been online, ever. And it has no access to being online. It's pretty damn safe. So really, the security relies on how you're storing it. So I've got to say, this is probably the best form of long-term crypto storage. And it's also completely free because you're essentially just writing down your keys. But it's where you store it. If you need to store it in like a Swiss bank vault for ultimate security. But apart from that, I can't think of any safer way. However, you got to be wary of the physical damage that piece of paper, in this case, is exposed to. So, as I've done previous videos like CryptKeeper, some people are engraving their keys, which is what I've done, into metal military-grade fire-resistant plates. The most secure way to store your crypto while also being easy to use. Now, this is what I told you to wait till the end for. So this is a tip from CZ, the CEO of Binance. So, number one, first, buy an iPhone, as it has some much greater security than some Androids. 2, do a complete factory reset and make sure everything is removed from the device. 3, install a secure mobile wallet, such as Yoroi, for example. 4, never put a SIM card into the phone and always have Wi-Fi off. 5, only connect to secure Wi-Fi to send transactions and disconnect straight after. 6, never install anything else on this phone. So essentially, this is like a hardware wallet, but with arguably better or similar security. But it is easier to sign transactions, and your crypto's not lost if you lose your phone, but as long as you have your keys or seed phrase backed up somewhere secure. And that's essentially what the whole thing comes down to, is in every scenario, it's how you store your seed phrase. So you've got to make sure it's stored, I would do on metal plates personally, just like I do, and that's got to be stored somewhere safe. And you can even encrypt how the words are stored. So even if someone does get access to it, that they don't actually work out what your real seed phrase is. And that brings us to the end of the episode for today. So do remember, the full article can be found online, along with all the other articles we don't necessarily get time to make videos for. And do please click the like button, hit subscribe, and hit that bell button so you can get notified as soon as we've got content available. And share far and wide. Please share as far as possible. All we want to do is educate as many people as possible. Because we're creating this content to make it easy for people to understand Cardano that little bit better. So I'm Josh, your presenter for today, owner of ATM Stake Pool. That's bye for now, and I'll see you next time.